So today we are going to talk about the most commonly found meats in India that you can feed your dog. What are the benefits of them? What are the macronutrients? What are the protein contents? Good, bad, what is my top to bottom list of preference? All of that. Hi, my name is Mansi. I am a canine nutritionist and a holistic wellness practitioner. I've been practicing 10 years, and all that I have learned in the last 10 years is what I plan to bring to you on this channel, which is Beyond the Bowl. And that's precisely what we will do. We will talk nutrition, but we will go beyond the bowl to bring you health and wellness tips. The most commonly found is obviously chicken and eggs. So let's talk facts about the egg. Now, this is a complete food. What does that mean? It's got the right amount of protein, right amount of carbohydrates and fats. How does that look? It's got a lot of protein, it's got medium fats, and it's got low carbohydrates when you feed the whole egg. Now, as far as the protein portion is concerned, when you feed the whole egg, you've actually got complete protein, which means all essential amino acids. So nature is pretty clever. When you're going to build a body out of this, it actually is complete in itself. And so it is a great addition to your dog's diet, and on days when you're traveling or you just can't find any meat, this is actually good to do your complete protein intake. Now, what is the difference between these two? Marketing has led us to believe that a brown egg is somehow better than a white egg, but actually this is just pigment, and it depends on the breed or the nativity of the hen. How the hen was raised, what the hen was fed, and how the hen is kept, what kind of life does the hen lead, has nothing to do with the color. So just buying brown eggs because somehow you think this is healthier or better is not the right thing. So look at who your provider is, how do they do their farming, how do they keep their eggs, hens, and then decide. So you can get pretty good quality eggs even if they're white, actually. All right, the next most common, you'll pretty much get it anywhere in the country, chicken, right? Now, whether to do this with bone or without bone is a question. Most people who are not comfortable with meats will try and use this boneless, but then I would suggest you at least get the whole chicken boneless and not just the breast, because you do get a variety of nutrients from the thigh and legs. Now, if you do it with the bone, and you cook it with the bone and then debone it, it takes a little bit of practice if you're doing it for the first time, but you will get a much better bone broth out of it. So you can put the bones back in and get a bone broth from that. So separate video, but a little tip. Now, this will stand at about 27 to 30 grams of protein per 100 grams. So most people think that when they're feeding chicken or they're feeding 100 grams of chicken, they're feeding that much protein. That's not true. When you feed 100 grams of chicken, it's about 27 to 30 grams. So you do want to look at how much your dog requires and then get that much protein into your dog's food. All right, so while chicken is the most commonly available, also the cheapest meat, also the first preference when people usually think of feeding their cats or dogs any kind of meat, it may not be the best option nutritionally. Now, why is that? It's the farming practices. Most poultry farms keep them in cages. They're never exposed to sunlight. They're fed grains. Those grains are then laced with antibiotics because all farm animals, when kept in large quantities, are going to fall sick. And in order to prevent that sickness, they are given antibiotics. And in order to raise them as quickly as possible, they're also given hormones. Giving them hormones to grow up faster than usual is going to make them sick. And so it's this loop that they get into, right? And if you raise anybody like that, fed with antibiotics and artificial hormones, it's not going to be a very healthy body. And so feeding it to our cats and dogs is not going to serve a good purpose that we want it to. Now, there are farms available across India where you can inquire and get poultry which is not raised like that. But that is something you will have to dig deeper into. Poultry raised, traditional, as in regular poultry raised chicken is also 19:1 on an average, omega-6 to omega-3. Now that's an extremely inflammatory meat. But when you raise it correctly and it is pasture raised and raised traditionally like they should be outdoors, then the ratio goes down to almost 1:1. And you see the difference the minute we start doing farming practices differently. So I currently do not feed chicken much to my dogs at all, because it's hard to find these farming practices. The next most commonly available meat in the country is going to be lamb or goat or mutton. It's called different things. Sheep and goat are two different animals, but they're interchangeable for some reason. Now, you can get them as mince or you can get it as chunks. I typically tend to buy it with the bone on, again, because when you cook it, you just get a much better broth. You can debone it. The bones are big, and if you get them cut like curry cuts or biryani cuts, not curry cuts, you will get much larger pieces, and then it actually becomes very easy to debone. Pop the bones back into the pressure cooker or your vessel and then boil it again, so you're getting a second product that goes into your dog's meals, and you get really good deboned meat as well. Now, what are the nutrient values here? On a regular raised meat, you're going to have 8:3 omega-6 to omega-3 ratios. The minute you have a farm raised or a grass-fed kind of meat available to you, which you can do just by having conversations, right? The ratio changes to 2:2 or 3:2, something like that. But it's tremendously higher the minute it is grass-fed and more species appropriately raised. So one of the healthiest omega-6 to 3 ratios on land animals. This is going to be highly nutritious. If this is available, it must be a part of your dog or cat's diet. Protein, 25 to 28 grams per 100 grams. Now, when you get pieces, it's actually very easy to have them trimmed. So you don't have too much fat because you can see the fat. You can take a pair of scissors and just chop it off if you want really lean meat. You can also buy really lean meat because there's no way to cheat you. You can see it. And so while there is the popular belief that lamb's just unhealthier, it is fattier, it's bad, you shouldn't feed too much of it, it's actually really lean meat. Also, there is a belief that lamb is very high protein. As you can see, chicken gives you about 28 to 31 grams per 100 grams of cooked, whereas this actually sits somewhere between 25 and 28 and can be very, very lean if you choose those cuts. All right, the next is fish. Again, the third most abundantly available source of meat or protein. What most people tend to get is large fillets that are already deboned. If you're not a fish eating person or family, then those just seem like the easier option because it's a fillet. You don't have to debone it. You don't have to figure it out. We've already done another video. Check it out. It's not that hard. And here's the real nutritional thing, right? Farmed fish or river fish sort of will give you the same kind of protein, like 19-20 grams per 100 grams, whether it is freshwater or seawater. Here's the difference. It is about the omega-3 content and also farmed fish, right? Human intervention, and that just means that you don't know how clean it is, and not everybody has great farming practices. So you might want to dig deeper into that. Now, let's move on to the sea fish. We want to do fish that have shorter lifespans, anchovies, mackerel, sardines. They're going to give you very similar content of protein. However, the mineral, micronutrient content and the omega-3/6 fatty acid profile is just so much better than white fish, even the sea-based white fish. These three will give you the bang for the buck. So let's get into all three fish and their actual specific nutrients. Right, so sea fish, what is our omega-3 to 6 profile? In mackerel, it is 1 omega-6 to 13 omega-3. Now that is huge. It's great. What is omega all about, right? It's an anti-inflammatory. We don't want omega-6s to be too high. We want omega-3s because we want to do anti-inflammation. Great for the brain, bones, organs, skin, the heart, absolutely everything. And we want it in the diet every single day. Sardines, 1 omega-6 to 2 omega-3. And anchovies is 1 omega-6 to 1 omega-3. Now these ideally need to be in the diet in small quantities every single day. But if you can't cook them every day, then one thing that you can try and do is get dehydrated anchovies, mackerel, sardines, crush them, and add a little bit of these flakes onto your dog's diet. Now, this is if your dog actually likes fish, this fish suits them, and you're not able to actually cook fresh. Next on our list is buff or buffalo meat. You can obviously get it as mince, and you can get it as chunks, with bone, without bone, whatever is easier. Usually when I have the mince, as you can see, you will get a little bit more fat minced into it. And if you want fully lean mince, you'll specifically have to say so, or you might need to buy the chunks and then get it minced from a machine or hand chopped. Now, if it is mince, I prefer doing it on a pan just because it retains a different kind of flavor. I can also infuse some healthy oils into it, like ghee or coconut oil. Chunks, you can pressure cook them, you can boil them. If they are small enough, again, I prefer doing it on a pan just because I can get more flavor into them. I can do different types of seasonings, which just makes food interesting for the dogs as well. Now, what are the micronutrients or nutrients on this? Not too bad. Very similar to lamb, about 26 to 28 grams of protein per cooked 100 grams. Not very high in fat unless you actually want it to be. So this will definitely be higher in fat than this is, because you can see the fat and it's been trimmed away. You can buy it and use scissors, trim it away. Omega-3, which is the most important part, right? Grass-fed, if you can ensure that it actually is, you can get an omega-3 profile almost better than everything else. Not as good as lamb, but about 4 to 6 omega-6 to 2 omega-3, 2 to 3 omega-3 on a grass-fed. Your regular farmed, grain-fed, run-of-the-mill buffalo is not going to be that high on omega-3s. So great for protein, great as lean meat. You can see and trim away the fat. So I would definitely recommend this, especially if you want to bring in a variety of red meats. So why did we even do this video? Now, while we covered protein content of each type, and we also looked at omega-3 profile, because it's so important to know whether your meat is inflammatory or anti-inflammatory, the main reason really was to let you know that not all meats are equal, and they all have different benefits, and they all have pros and cons. And we didn't even get into the micronutrition of it all. What kind of mineral profile and vitamin profiles do these meats have? You will see when you deep dive into them is that all of them are very different. And when we start getting into just sticking to one meat or just eggs or just chicken and eggs, what really happens is we are providing our dogs' bodies with only those nutrients that are available in this. And everything that's available in this, we're simply not giving it. Rotation is the key to healthy feeding. Rotation is actually the key for balanced feeding. So that was the point of showing you the different meats. If you found this video helpful, please share it with others that you think might be useful. Also, if you'd like us to do seasonings and cooking videos and ideas on how to keep texture and taste alive, comment in the comments below and tell us, and we will do that next. So if you found this video helpful, then definitely share it with others that you think will benefit. If you would like us to do seasonings or cooking videos, tell us in the comments so we know exactly what to shoot next.